Regulation and efficiency of short transmission line will be discussed in this lecture. From the examination's point of view, there may be the question of 3 to 4 marks on this topic. Short transmission line has been shown for your reference. In this figure, you can see the load is connected at the receiving end of the line. Voltage available at the receiving end is denoted as VR. This line is energized with sending end voltage Vs. So with this load, when the line is energized, the current will flow through this transmission line. This transmission line is having the parameters resistance and inductive reactance. In this short transmission line, the capacitance effect is neglected. As I told you earlier, the short transmission line, the voltage levels are limited up to 33 kV, and that's why the effect of the shunt capacitance is not predominant. So it is reasonably accurate to neglect the effect of line capacitance in case of short transmission line. Hence, the short transmission line is represented only by the series components, that is series resistance R and series inductive reactance XL. Again, these R and XL components are shown as concentrated or lumped component, and we are not using any distributed parameter configurations. Distributed parameters configurations we will use for the longer lines when the line is higher than 200 kilometers. In the lecture of the long transmission line, I will discuss it at length that how the line can be represented with the distributed parameters. Look at this figure and try to understand. This is nothing but single phase AC series circuit, where you can find this Vs is nothing but VR plus voltage drop across this impedance element. So mathematically it is written as Vs is equal to VR plus IR into bracket R plus JXL, and you can rearrange these equations to find out the receiving end voltage. So VR is equal to Vs minus IR into R plus JIR into XL. Hence, if the line is loaded and line draws any current, in that case there will be the voltage drop, and definitely for this case the receiving end voltage will be less than the sending end voltage. The difference between the sending end voltage and receiving end voltage is called the voltage regulation. As the load is increased, suppose if you consider one more load in parallel with this load, suppose this is I am drawing one more load here in parallel to the existing load. That means these loads are in parallel, so equivalent impedance of this load will be decreased, and that's why it will draw more current. If the current drawn through the line is more, then this drop will be more, and in that case this VR will also decrease. If this VR will decrease, then you can see that voltage regulations go high. In power system analysis, our objective is to get the voltage regulation value as small as possible. Ideally, the voltage regulation should be 0. So voltage regulation is equal to 0 is possible only and only if this Vs is equal to VR. And Vs is equal to VR, ideally it is possible only when the drop across this R and XL can be minimized to 0. Drop across this R and XL, it is nothing but the product of I into R and I into XL. I depends on the load current. So if the load is connected, definitely I will be there. So it is not possible for you to minimize this voltage drop across the transmission line, and there will be the voltage drop in line elements, and that's why the VR will definitely less. Another term is transmission efficiency. The transmission efficiency, mathematically if you look at this equation, and it is a ratio of receiving end power divided by the sending end power. It means that sending end, that means the point at which the power is generated and it is injected in the line. So let us say the power is injected at this point. When the power is injected in this line, the current will flow and this current will create I square R losses in a line. Hence, at the end of a line, the power available at the end of the line will be equal to power sent minus line losses. So receiving end power will be less than the sending end power. If the losses are more, then efficiency will be less. If the losses are less, then efficiency will be more. So again, I square, you can improve the efficiency by lowering down the I square R losses. In that I square R losses, that I is in I, the current I is not in our control. It is derived from the load. Only the controllable parameter is R. So before designing the line, you need to take care that you need to design a line with minimum value of the resistance, so that at the end you will get minimum losses from the line and transmission line efficiency can be improved. Oh, let us have a look on the phasor diagram of this short transmission line. In this phasor diagram, I have taken the current I as a reference, and voltage available at the receiving end is shown to be in leading voltage available at the receiving end, that VR is shown in leading direction as compared to the current phasor I. The angle between VR, that receiving end voltage, and current is phi R. This phi R is determined by the power factor of this load. So if the power factor of this load is unity, then this orientation of this VR will be along the current I. Again, in this phasor diagram, AB represents the drop across IR. This AB is nothing but the voltage drop across the resistive element. This voltage drop across the resistive element is always in phase with the current. So you can see that the vector AB is in phase with the vector OA, which is a current vector. Similarly, the voltage drop across the inductive reactance is 90 degree ahead than the current phasor. So this I into XL is shown to be 90 degree ahead than the current phasor. Now if you apply this same equation, that Vs is equal to phasor sum of this VR plus IR plus J I into XL, apply this same equation. So this is my VR, this is my IR, and plus IXL, this will give me my sending end voltage Vs. So in that way we can obtain the phasor diagram for the short transmission line. The angle between this voltage vector, sending end voltage vector Vs, and the current I, it is called a sending end power factor, that is denoted as phi S. These same voltage regulations can also be represented mathematically. In that case, if you refer this vector diagram, then you can see that OC square is equal to OD square plus DC square. This is my OC square, and this is my OD, and this is my CD. OC is nothing but my sending end voltage Vs. Now you look at this OD. This OD is divided into the two parts, this OE plus ED. And this CD is simple. CD is also divided into two parts. One first is dB and another is BC. So that I have just written is OE plus ED and dB plus BC whole square. Now look at this OE. This is my OE. So this is my, consider the triangle OAE. In that case, that OE is nothing but VR cos phi R. That OE is represented by VR cos phi R. And ED, this is my ED. You can see that this is IR is equal to ED. So ED is replaced by IR. Similarly, the this is my dB. This line dB is same as AE, and this AE is nothing but VR sine phi r. So I have represented it as a VR sine phi r. And BC, this is my BC, and BC is equal to voltage drop across the inductive reactance. So from that I can get the expressions of the Vs, that is sending end voltage. Once you get the expressions of the sending end voltage Vs, you can find out the voltage regulations. Similarly, you can find out the power factor at the sending end. You know that this is my whole outer triangle, that OCD or ODC. This is one triangle. In that pi s is nothing but OD upon OC. OD upon OC. This cos pi s. Cos pi s is given by OD divided by OC. And OD is nothing but we have derived that OD. This OD is equal to OE plus AD, and this parameter, that OD is equal to given by this. So it is rewritten again. So you will get cos pi s. You need to remember these expressions. The power delivered is equal to VR IR cos phi r. Line loss is I square r, and power sent out, that means power available at the sending end, power sent out, power injected in the line, that is nothing but VR IR cos phi r is receiving end power. If I add I square r losses in that, then I will get the power available at the sending end. Taking the ratio of these two, power sent out to power delivered, I will get the transmission line efficiency. So you need to remember all these expressions. Sending end voltage. Now this same expressions, this same phasor diagram, now we represent this phasor diagram or derive the voltage regulation in terms of the complex notations. Previously in that case we have not considered any complex notation. Now we will derive the voltage regulation in complex notations. In that case I am taking this VR as a reference phasor. In previous discussion I have taken it current phasor as a reference. In that case I have shown VR in leading position as compared to I. This is also the same situations, just only I am changing the orientations. The VR is taken as a reference and I is shown to be lagging by an angle phi r. Otherwise the rest of the thing is same. So VR is taken as a reference, that's why its angle is 0. I is shown, this current I is considered as a lagging power factor, that's why this phi r is equal to phi r is shown to be negative. If it is the power factor of the load is unity, then this phi r will be 0. In that case that current aligns with the voltage. If the load power factor is capacitive, then obviously this current, suppose this is my voltage, then current I, this is my I, and this is my voltage. This is a case of the leading power factor, and in that case this phi r should be plus phi r. Z is equal to R plus jXL, that is the impedance of a line. You know that this is our basic equation. Vs sending end voltage is nothing but the receiving end voltage plus the voltage drop across the line impedance. Now put all these values which we have represented in rectangle form. So Vs can be represented in this, and when I solve these expressions I will get expressions of the Vs, the long expression of this Vs. Now in this long expression, if I neglect this second term, then obviously I am getting the sending end voltage, and this equation is matched with the approximate expressions of the voltage regulations derived on the previous slides.